Have you ever asked yourself, why do I keep attracting narcissists into my life? You're not alone. The truth is, this dynamic is rooted in the unconscious patterns we carry from our earliest relationships. As an anxious attacher or empath, your nervous system is wired to seek deep connection, reassurance, and love. But here's the paradox: that very openness, that deep craving to give and to heal, often makes you magnetic to someone with narcissistic traits. The narcissist is drawn to your empathy because it fills the void they're trying to cover up inside themselves. And in turn, you're drawn to their intensity, their charm, and the illusion of certainty they project. On a subconscious level, this pairing feels familiar, almost like home, because it echoes old wounds that were never fully healed. So you're not cursed and you're not broken. You're simply being shown the mirror of your own healing path, and the invitation is to become aware of these patterns so you can finally choose differently. Now let's break this down into pattern recognition, because once you can see the pattern clearly, you can stop it from running your life. Here's how it usually plays out. First, there's the spark. The narcissist comes in strong, showering you with attention, charm, and intensity. To an anxious attacher, that feels like safety, like finally someone is meeting you with the energy you've been longing for. Next comes the shift. Slowly, their energy pulls back, and you feel that distance in your nervous system like a fire alarm going off. Instead of stepping back, your instinct is to lean in harder, to fix, to give more, to hold tighter. That's the hook. The narcissist feeds on that energy, the chase, the validation, the supply, and the cycle repeats. Push, pull, withdraw, re-engage. When you start recognizing this rhythm, the fast, intoxicating beginning, followed by the withdrawal, followed by your anxious pursuit, you begin to see it for what it is. Not love, but a trauma pattern replaying itself. Awareness of that cycle is the first step to breaking free from it. Here's the truth that shifts everything. This pattern isn't really about the narcissist. It's about you, your wounds, and the deep belief that if you can heal someone else's brokenness, then maybe you'll finally be worthy of love. For many anxious attachers and empaths, the root lies in childhood, when love may have felt inconsistent, conditional, or tied to your ability to please, soothe, or earn attention. Somewhere along the way, your nervous system learned, if I can fix them, if I can be what they need, then I won't be abandoned. That script runs in the background of your relationships, quietly pulling you toward people who are unavailable, unpredictable, or emotionally distant. Think of it this way. Your younger self is still searching for the love she didn't fully receive, but she believes the only way to get it is to work for it, to overgive, to overfunction. So when someone comes along who is charming but wounded, or confident but emotionally shut down, your subconscious lights up. This feels familiar. This must be love. What you're really experiencing isn't love at all. It's a repetition of the old ache, the same longing to finally win the affection that once felt just out of reach. And here's the most important part. The drive to fix isn't about them. It's about soothing the ache inside you. It's about trying to prove to yourself that you are lovable, worthy, and enough. But here's the paradox. No amount of fixing someone else will ever fix that wound in you. In fact, the more you chase, the deeper the wound feels. The healing comes not in changing them, but in tending to that little girl inside you who just wanted to be loved as she was. When you begin meeting your own needs, when you start saying, I am already whole, already worthy, already deserving of love without earning it, that's when the pattern breaks. This is your invitation. Stop trying to heal them as a way to earn love, and instead turn toward healing the part of you that believes love must be earned in the first place. Because when you finally give yourself what you've been searching for in others, you no longer feel compelled to chase what hurts you. And that's when you step into real, safe, unconditional love, starting with yourself. Let's get real. When you're trying to fix someone who won't meet you, you're not just loving hard, you're avoiding your own pain. I know that lands heavy, but stay with me. The compulsion to fix a narcissistic partner is a brilliant survival strategy your system learned long ago. If I pour everything into repairing them, I don't have to feel the ache in me. I don't have to sit with the loneliness, the grief, the shame, the terror that I might not be chosen. Fixing becomes anesthesia, hope becomes a painkiller, and the chase becomes a way to outrun the stillness where the truth lives. Here's the deeper mechanism. As an anxious attacher and empath, your nervous system is wired to relieve tension by doing. When love feels uncertain, you work for it. You become attentive, accommodating, and endlessly understanding. That activity generates the illusion of control. If I just try harder, if I say it the right way, if I love them enough, this will finally become safe. Meanwhile, their intermittent warmth, the tiny crumbs of closeness reinforces the pattern. It's a slot machine. Unpredictable payoffs keep you pulling the lever. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is pairing uncertainty with spikes of dopamine and relief. The cycle is chemical, not just emotional. And underneath that cycle is a younger you who once learned, I am loved when I'm useful, I am kept when I'm fixing. If you stop fixing, the protector part of you panics. Who am I if I'm not saving someone? Will anyone stay for me just as I am? So the fixer part keeps you focused outward, on their wounds, their moods, their narrative, because if you turn inward, the backlog of unprocessed feelings might flood the room. That's not failure. That's a nervous system doing its job, avoiding overwhelm. Let's name the cost. While you're working on them, you quietly abandon yourself. Your boundaries thin, your standards bend, your voice gets smaller. You postpone your joy, your goals, your friendships, even your rest, because being hypervigilant about their state feels safer than being intimate with your own. And here's the paradox. The more you outsource your healing to their transformation, the more powerless you feel. Your worth stays on layaway, waiting for their change. So what would it mean to stop using fixing as a shield and start meeting your pain with love? First, we honor the fixer as a protector, not a problem. You can literally say, thank you for trying to keep me safe all these years. I'm ready to try a new way. This disrupts the shame spiral and reduces the urgency to chase. Then we build your capacity to be with yourself without abandoning yourself. This is where somatics matter. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Feel the weight of your body on the chair, and take 3 slow breaths with longer exhales. Your body needs to learn that stillness doesn't equal danger. Next, we turn toward the feelings fixing avoided. Often it's grief for the love you didn't get, anger for the boundaries you had to swallow, shame about being too much or not enough, and the raw loneliness of not being mirrored. Give each of these a room in your inner house. Schedule time to feel. Yes, actually schedule it. Because if you don't make time to feel, your system will make time to chase. Write the unsent letter. Cry for 10 honest minutes. Shake out your hands and legs to discharge activation. Then come back to your breath. This isn't wallowing, it's metabolizing. Reclaim your anger as a guardian of your worth, not a weapon. Spoken softly but firmly, I will not abandon myself to be chosen. That sentence is medicine. Pair it with micro boundaries that retrain your nervous system. You don't explain a no 3 times. You don't negotiate your needs down to fit someone's capacity. You don't rescue adults from the consequences of their choices. A simple rule: if it isn't asked for clearly and consistently, you don't offer it continually. No covert fixing. Reality over fantasy is where you take your power back. Write 2 columns. what I know from their actions, and what I hope. If the data says you are starving, believe it. Love is not proven by how much pain you can tolerate. It's revealed by how safe your nervous system feels, on average, with a person over time. Now a practical reset, a 30-day no-fix experiment. You stop coaching, managing, diagnosing, or emotionally babysitting. You stop explaining basic empathy to an adult like it's a university course. You measure only your commitments, sleep, nourishment, movement, creative expression, and connection with people who reciprocate. Each day, choose one small act that proves I'm worth effort even when no one is watching. A walk at sunrise, a nourishing meal, 10 minutes of journaling, a call with someone who knows your heart. Notice how your system protests at first. That's withdrawal from the drama cycle. Breathe through it. It passes. And if you stay or you go, your deepest work is the same. Become the person who meets your own needs consistently. Reparent the younger you with warmth and structure. Replace the identity of the healer who keeps you with the woman who keeps herself. When you anchor in self-trust, you'll feel the old magnets lose their pull. Intensity will start reading as anxiety, not chemistry. Steadiness will begin to feel like home. Let me leave you with this reframe. Fixing them was never the door to love. It was the detour around your grief. Walk through the door, feel what's there. On the other side is a self that does not beg to be chosen, because she is already claimed by you. Here's the question so many people ask. How do I wake up to this pattern? How do I stop being the anxious attacher, the fixer, and finally become aware of what I'm doing? Awareness begins in the smallest of moments, the ordinary daily habits where the pattern lives. You don't wake up one morning fully healed. You wake up by noticing little by little when the fixer is running the show and when your authentic self wants something different. Step 1 is micro-awareness. Before you text, call, or check in with someone, pause and ask, am I reaching out to connect, or am I reaching out to calm my anxiety? That one pause reveals volumes. Fixing often disguises itself as love, but the energy behind it is urgency, fear, or the need to manage someone else so you can feel safe. True love feels calmer, slower, and not rushed by panic. Training yourself to recognize that difference is the first wake-up call. Step 2 is body check-ins. The anxious attacher lives in the nervous system, not the mind. Your body will tell you when you're in fixing mode. A tight chest, shallow breath, racing thoughts, a sense of restlessness. Instead of outsourcing safety by jumping into action, try sitting with those sensations. Place your hand on your chest, take a slow breath and whisper, "It's safe to be with myself right now." The more you learn to self-soothe in the body, the less power the fixing cycle has over you. Step 3 is language awareness. Listen to how you phrase your needs. Are you constantly saying, "I just want them to be okay," or "if they'd only change, I'd feel better"? That language exposes where you've outsourced your worth to someone else's behavior. Flip it back. What would make me okay today? What can I change for myself to feel better? Each time you return responsibility to your own hands, you strengthen your sense of agency. Step 4 is practice boundaries. Start small. Maybe it's not replying instantly. Maybe it's leaving their mood with them instead of absorbing it. Maybe it's resisting the urge to explain your no 5 times. Boundaries retrain your nervous system to believe, I am safe even if they are not pleased, even if they are not fixed, even if they pull away. This is where the fixer begins to transform into the self-healer. And finally, step 5 is compassion over shame. Remember, the fixer part of you developed to protect you, not punish you. If you wake up tomorrow and find yourself slipping back into old behaviors, don't spiral into self-blame. Say instead, Ah, there's the fixer again. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. Let's try a different way now. That shift from shame to curiosity is what keeps the healing sustainable. So, teaching yourself to wake up as the anxious attacher means retraining your awareness, body, language, and boundaries, while wrapping the entire process in compassion. It's not about hating the fixer in you, it's about guiding her home. And over time, that's how you stop living in survival mode and start living in love.